Welcome or welcome back everyone. If you're new here, hey, hi and welcome. I'm Jessica. Starting off today's video with a massive congratulations to Joy_Arts for winning Artex's 90 acrylic paint marker set. Many more giveaways are coming very soon and all winners are selected at random. Joy_Arts, I'll be in touch with you shortly. So today we're exploring the Hotu alcohol marker set that was sent to me for review, and as always I'll be sharing my honest thoughts and opinions on this set. Cannot stress that enough. The box the markers arrived in was wrapped in a black bin liner, which I found a little bit peculiar, a little bit odd. I mean, I've never received a product in a bin liner before. The box did have some rough spots, but this didn't seem to cause any damage or impact to the markers inside, and the case of the markers was presented completely intact. The set comes with an anti-bleed pad, ideal for putting underneath your choice of paper to prevent the alcohol markers going onto the surface underneath of the paper or onto the next page if you're working in a sketchbook. The markers, like any other alcohol-based markers, will of course bleed through the paper that you're working on. So there was a little card presented inside of this set with some handy tips on the back of it and a QR code for joining the Hotu community. The markers have a broad and a fine tip, the fine being a bullet nib for all of your more finer and rendered details, and the broad being a chisel tip, which is more for your creative brush strokes and abstract mark making, which you'll actually see me do a little later on in the video, but I love a good chisel tip to create abstract marks. I was very pleased to see that we're getting a swatch card in this set. I feel like they could be working on the names of these markers a little bit just by looking at the swatch card, and also a user guide which gives us some specifications about the markers. You can see there that they're non-toxic, body shape, the cap, the accessories, the lifespan which is 2 years, and the ink capacity, just to name a few and point a few out there. So after opening this setup, it was time to swatch the markers out and get an overall feel for them. The set features 99 vibrant colours, and this set consists of individual highly saturated shades along with a colourless blender. The addition of a colourless blender enhances the versatility of the set, making it a valuable tool for artists looking to achieve a range of desired effects. I personally like to use a colourless blender for erasing minor mishaps and also softening transitional layers. It would be nice to see more muted colours to enhance transitions, particularly if you are taking a more realistic approach when creating. You can see that we're getting a lot of high key, very saturated colours that are very predominant within the set. That being said, we have some light greys as well. While I don't wish to make an unfair comparison between these markers and those from Hotu, it may be beneficial for this brand to consider developing a distinctive appearance for their marker bodies instead of opting for the traditional white design. Currently, the similarities in appearance to Hotu markers may lead to confusion amongst consumers when viewed online, particularly on platforms such as Amazon. By establishing a unique aesthetic, this brand could enhance its market presence and stand out more effectively. This would help in positioning the markers as a credible alternative to Hotu's rather than a mere imitation of an established competitor. Given the overall high quality of the alcohol markers, emphasizing a distinctive identity could greatly benefit the brand in attracting a broader customer base as well. The markers are almost identical to the Hotu's. For example, the bodies of them are both white, the labeling is shiny. However, the body of the Hotu markers are matte, where the Hotu markers are glossy. I actually prefer the matte feel of these markers. I find that I just grip onto them better. I don't know, I like the feel of them. These markers are coded but not named. The names of the markers aren't on the caps but are on the swatch chart. Hotu's have both the coding and the names of the colours on their lids. I feel that the markers are most likely made in the same factory. Could be wrong, don't know. The codes aren't the same as the Hotu's, however. I'm just taking a wild guess, it's just a hunch. When it comes to the exterior of the alcohol marker bodies, there's not much difference between the Hotu's and the Hotu's. Markers are divided into 4 quadrants, which you can take the divider out of the actual case if you want to be able to store them differently. I always recommend storing alcohol-based markers horizontally just to prevent the ink in them from evaporating. Storing the alcohol-based markers this way will ensure that both ends of the marker will distribute ink evenly and fluently from both tips, the bullet nib and the chisel tip. Okay, overall we have a lovely variety of colours in this set of 100. The only thing that I will say, however, is that I would like to see, particularly from a set of 100 like this, is more lighter colours so we can add extra dimension to our artwork. I mean, I'm literally seeing like 2 potential skin tones here. And maybe we could get away with a skin tone being our 302, and depending on how you layer these as well, you can create variations, which I'm going to be testing out some colour blends in just a minute. But I feel that there's a lot of mids and a lot of dark ranges in value in this set. So I'm going to switch this now to black and white. And you can clearly see now that the mid ranges and the darker values are a lot more predominant. So that's the only thing that I would say, but the saturation's amazing. They're very pigmented. They lay down very smoothly. So I started my experimentations in the Hotu Portrait Sketchbook for alcohol markers. It's 200 GSM, it's heavyweight, spiral bound, and it's a sketchbook that I've become accustomed to. I really love working in this. I actually used Hotu's anti-bleed pad underneath the page that I was working on here, just because Hotu's was a little bit smaller, but still very useful for future purposes. So before I started putting a piece of artwork together, I just wanted to become more accustomed to the Hotu markers and get an overall feel for them. If you are new to working with alcohol-based markers, I recommend that you do just this at first. Let's just get a feel for them and find your feet with them a little bit. I am accustomed to alcohol-based markers. I've been using them for many years, but this is a new brand and I wanted to get a feel for this brand. So yeah, hence why I'm starting this way first before creating any major pieces. I did notice some granulation and speckles occur when working with these markers, and I also noticed that much more lighter colours didn't blend as easily into the darker colours like Hotu typically would, so they weren't as seamless as Hotu's. I had to work the markers, meaning I had to do a lot of back and forth strokes to get much cleaner, smoother blends, and I don't usually have to do that as much with the Hotu's. Hotu's lighter colours have a harder time blending into darker ranges. While a colourless blender can help a little, it's not a predominant solution. Having worked with alcohol-based markers for years, I prefer using a colourless blender to desaturate and correct mistakes on marker paper. I do recommend using these markers exclusively on marker paper or Bristol board to achieve the desired effect that you want and to get the most value from these markers. With that being said, you can achieve some really interesting effects with these markers, but the markers perform exceptionally well when layering, allowing other colours to show through underneath each colour, creating really interesting transitions. So with this piece, I first fleshed out the skeleton of it. You'll see that one portrait has been done using a colour erase pencil, and the other one's been done just using like a standard HB, I believe that I used. And I wasn't really being too particular how I laid my sketch down. Kind of happy that I used a colour erase pencil on the secondary portrait, just because I really love how smoothly the alcohol based markers went straight over the top of this sketch. And I really like that with alcohol based markers the sketch can show through underneath like the initial layers that you put down, making it your choice whether or not you want to keep that sketch or cover it up entirely with the markers as you progress with your drawings. Hotu alcohol markers do use like a premium ink. It's more delicate. I was able to create seamless transitions. The markers are fast drying, waterproof and environmentally friendly and non-toxic. Hotu do claim that they are suitable for a multitude of surfaces, but I particularly will always use them on marker paper or Bristol board, just because I feel that you can layer more seamlessly and create more blends of a seamless nature as well. Like I say, I had a little bit of splotches blending in the lighter colours to the much more darker predominant saturated colours, but on this sketchbook page I was very happy with, and I ended up creating some abstract mark making, and I just overall got lost in the process. I was going for more of a vibe, and I guess that's what I achieved here. I was going for an almost like graffiti, edgy, grungy type feel to these two portraits. I intended on creating something more stylistic than what I typically usually would, and a piece that was overall more stylistic in nature. I stepped out of my comfort zone with this one, and I'm happy that I did so. Abstract yet surreal is the overall vibe I was going for. Sometimes pieces like this can be hard to explain because it's more of an emotional attachment to the process than it is the overall end result, particularly with this piece because I was just getting sort of lost in the moment. The Hotu alcohol markers present an admirable alternative to Ohuhu markers. Their affordability renders them an excellent option for beginners and learners. I find them to be a valuable addition to my extensive assortment of Ohuhu markers. I'm looking forward to utilising them in my future artworks as well. They'll definitely be showing up again in my future artworks. My experience with these markers was notably enjoyable. I also feel that these are great for teenagers and children just finding their feet for the first time with alcohol-based markers as well. Great option for them. And if you're from the UK and you're tuning in today, these markers are priced at £71.60. I'll be leaving the links down below to pretty much everything that's been mentioned in today's video. The alcohol markers did in fact bleed through to that anti-bleed proof pad underneath by Hotu, and the page underneath it was very much protected from the alcohol markers. And the anti-bleed pad that was provided from Hotu, you can see there it just doesn't quite fit, and the anti-bleed pad was pretty much identical to the Hotu anti-bleed pad. And this brings me to the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed today's review, and as always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Would you give these art markers, alcohol markers, a try? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell, as more reviews like this one are in the works and will be dropping to the channel shortly. Until next time, my loves, stay creative and bye for now.